What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm en route, been at a site meeting, and wanted to shoot a little video to answer the question, is building a barndominium right for you? So I'm going to kind of share this from my perspective. A couple things. I'm going to tell you some stories about how it became right for me and why. But you have to decide for yourself, and there's a lot of reasons why people are choosing barndominiums, why they are attractive for them and their lifestyle, the whole layout of it. Why are people choosing to build a barndominium? For me, it was a pretty simple decision. Already had a conventional frame home on our property with 10 acres, and my in-laws approached us, and they were kind of reaching a certain point in their life were trying to make some decisions about what they were going to do next. They wanted to sell their house, and they approached us and said, hey, you guys have got some land, and they only have one daughter or one child, and they said, hey, you guys are going to end up with everything we have anyways. You know, what do you think if we were to build something out here? And there the discussion kind of began. I think choosing to build a barndominium for us was more about the fact that we already had a conventional frame home on site. So we didn't want to build just another home that looked the same as the other. There's a couple things as well that I feel like were attractive to us about building a barndominium. Number one, my dad already had a barndominium, so I was familiar with that style, and we knew in Texas that a lot of people had been doing it for some time, like 20, 30 years. I've known about barndominiums myself, I guess as long as I'm old enough to remember, or as long as I'm old enough to have been paying attention. People have been building barndominiums just in a lot less organized fashion. Brandy and I first got married. We had visited some friends and seen other people who had a barndominium, kind of got a visualization of it. And in fact, we drew some plans that we didn't know to call it a barndominium, but we were going to build what you call a metal shop house or something like that, where we had some shop storage and then a place for living just off of that shop. So this whole concept of barndominium has been around for some time. It's not a new idea, at least in Texas. In some areas, it is a developing idea, and more people are starting to sort of get involved at building barndominiums, which is a good thing. One thing I can say is it's not a fad. It's going to continue to be on the rise because we've seen that pattern happen here in Texas. Seems like the more barndominiums you build, the more people want them because of the concept. So what is that have to do with you making that decision of whether you want to build a barndominium? It's been said that affordability is one of the key factors. Cost. So is it cheaper? It's been said that barndominiums can have more of a durable offset. They're durable, long-lasting, they're efficient, they're flexible in design. So these are some of the key attributes that a lot of people associate with barndominium. Here's what I have to say to that, because for us, that was probably what put us on the hunt or the trail. We thought, well, if we self-build a barndominium, it might be a more affordable thing to do. It might be the best way to go. But what I realized as I started getting into it, it's like I'm building the same thing I would if I was building a conventional home. I've got all the same ingredients inside. So the reasons why it was right for us, so I think there was an assumption that we would save some money. Number one, because I was self-building. Number two, because of the idea of it. But when we started adding the shop to it, originally we did a design that was like a 40 by 60 design with kind of a front porch off of that. And then I ended up extending that to a 75 by 40, which made for a lot more space in the shop, because what we started realizing is I needed at least a 2-bedroom for my in-laws, and which is a good thing because now Granny is there with them too. Building a barndominium, I guess the number one reason that worked for us was for flexibility in design. and the multi-generational aspect and all of the mixed purpose use that we're able to do. We saw a versatility in that. Like we put a craft room and an office area up above all of the living quarters that we did down below. We went up, we made a 2-story. This was some of the decision making behind our design. When I was doing the layout, I did toil a little bit with that to try to figure out how I was going to lay it out, but I drew my plans on graph paper, so nothing special, but this is how I did it. There's a lot of that that's been improved now. Like, we recommend you use a real blueprint so that you can get plumbing lined up and hit the targets on the wall and all that. So there are efficient ways to go about building, and I recommend a true plan and not something drawn on a napkin or graph paper alone. Like, we have a pretty good option for that. If you check the links in the description below, we have some pre-planning strategies that you can go about, which include plans and all of the options that are above. But these are some of the reasons why we chose a Barndominium for ourselves. So answering that question for you is going to be more at what season you're in. What are you trying to accomplish in life? Some of our clients, I will say, are choosing Barndominiums. I think they're either retiring, they're moving from one phase of life to another. They're trying to make a effort to have high efficiency and low maintenance. That's a big thing. Cost is relative. Cost is relative to what you're building. So, the thing is can Barndominiums be cheaper? Well, can you control yourself when you're building a Barndominium to not build something that's way out there and have more square footage? Can I build a conventional frame home the same cost as a conventional frame Barndominium? More than likely, it could be similar. I feel like there might be some avenues, some advantages to be able to save money if you work angles a little bit here and there. Where you're saving money, I feel like, is on some of the siding choices, your exterior finishes, like going to a metal panel, R-panel style. Well, that can save you a little bit of money because that's one of the more economical sidings you can put on a Barndominium, as opposed to, like, say, brick and stone and all these other higher end accented finishes, masonry, any of that stuff. That's going to cost you just what it would on a conventional frame. You still got to have all the things you would have on a conventional frame. Now, the things that I don't recommend you compromise on is your insulation. Don't compromise on your wall systems. Don't compromise on your framing on the interior or any of the things that really make for a good, sturdy structure. Don't compromise your foundation. Don't compromise any of these kind of things when it comes to building a home, because that needs the same efforts that are put into conventional frame. Like in Texas, we have real expansive clay soils. Well, this kind of stuff can impact the long-term durability of your home. So don't skip out on those things. Don't skip the process when it comes to good, practical building blocks for a home. I'll share a little more on this channel coming up, because we're going to be talking about things like this, mistakes that I've made building Barndominium. So if you're interested in more content like this, hit the subscribe button, follow us below. We got a lot more content like this coming. But a lot of our clients that are making these decisions, I believe they're hunting for high efficient homes, low maintenance, and some unique storage areas like large shops, flexibilities there that really give them some cool opportunities to have gatherings and these kind of things. That's what's great. Entertainment, all that kind of stuff with a Barndominium. It gets really fun, and we're able to do that. We host parties with our Barndominium. Making the decision if it's right for you, all of these factors are big reasons why you're going to have to decide. But the question is, what kind of consumer are you? Are you a high-end consumer? Are you somebody who can control your purchasing when it comes to high-end finishes? That's what's going to determine whether or not this could be an affordable option for you. And that goes for any kind of building. If you're building a conventional frame home, if you're building a barndominium, you got to know the goals and the plans that you're working. Those are key factors in something being affordable. When you go to the grocery store, are you throwing everything in the cart, or do you have a list? And these are the things that we need. So those are key factors when you're building, is having self-control, because that's what's going to help you determine cost. But anyhow, making those decisions now. Cost in 2025, we're going to be doing a full cost video coming up. But if you guys are interested in knowing what it costs to build a barndominium with Texas Best in our build radius, check out our barndoquote.com. We got a lot more coming on this channel. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm Josh Helm, wishing you all the best. Thanks for watching. Texas Best.